Every year, thousands of people disappear, not kidnapped, not murdered, not missing. They choose to evaporate. In South Korea, they're called Jungchuljok, the evaporated people. 5 to 10,000 annually. They walk away from their lives, their families, their debts, their identities. They hire night-moving companies to relocate them in darkness, cut all contact with everyone they've ever known. Start over, new city, new name, new existence, or try to. In Japan, it's called johatsu, evaporation. Similar numbers, similar services, similar desperation. In the West, thousands go off-grid, delete social media, abandon careers, vanish into anonymity. Tonight, I'm asking 3 questions. Why does modern society make people want to disappear? How do people actually vanish? And does it work? And what does the universal fantasy of starting over reveal about the prison of modern identity? This is Inner Pigment, the phenomenon who disappears and why. The evaporated people of Korea, South Korea, modern developed nation, 5 to 10,000 people disappear intentionally every year. Jungchuljok, Jungbaljog, the evaporated people. Who are they? Not criminals, not mentally ill, ordinary people, middle-aged businessmen whose companies failed, young adults crushed by student debt, divorced individuals unable to face social shame, people who made mistakes, got into debt, couldn't keep up. They don't die. They evaporate. Why Korea specifically? Korean culture, Confucian values, extreme social pressure. Success is mandatory. Failure is shameful. Your worth is your achievement, your job title, your income, your family's status. Fail? You've dishonored yourself, your family, your ancestors. Debt in Korea isn't just financial, it's social death. Debt collectors can harass you publicly. Call your employer. Contact your family. There's no bankruptcy protection that truly works. The shame is unbearable, so people evaporate. The night-moving companies, Yabamisa, night-moving services, underground companies, semi-legal, gray market. They help people disappear. How it works. You contact them, middle of the night, they arrive, pack your belongings, move you to a new city, arrange off-the-books housing, no contract, no official registration, sometimes help you find cash work, day labor, unregistered, cost, few $1,000s. They know how to avoid being traced, where they go, usually to another city, Seoul to Busan, Busan to Daegu, anonymous neighborhoods, dense urban areas, live in cheap housing, Gosiwon, tiny rooms, no registration required, work cash jobs, construction, delivery, markets, no official employment, no government record, invisible, the reality. They're not free. They're fugitives from their own lives. Can't contact family. Can't use real name. Can't access bank accounts. Living in poverty, hiding, constantly afraid of being found, but they prefer this to facing their debts, their shame, their failure. That's how bad it is. Japan, Johatsu, the art of evaporation. Japan has the same phenomenon. Johatsu, Jungfa, evaporation. Similar numbers, similar reasons. The pressure, Japanese work culture. Karoshi, death from overwork. Corporate loyalty demanded, personal life sacrificed. Fail at work, shame on your family. Divorce, shame. Debt, shame. Mental illness, weakness, shame. Japan has the highest suicide rate among developed nations, but some choose evaporation instead. The Taugewu, night-moving companies, same as Korea, help people disappear. For a fee, pack in darkness, relocate to different city, arrange new housing, established industry, operating for decades. Where they go. Sanya District, Tokyo, area known for day laborers, homeless. People with no official identity, no questions asked. Cash economy off the grid. Or other cities, Osaka, Nagoya, work construction, factories, anything that doesn't check paperwork. The cost. Financial, a few $1,000s up front. Psychological, you've abandoned everyone you love. Practical, living in poverty, no safety net, no health insurance, no pension. You've traded your identity for temporary escape from pressure. The Western version, going off grid. The West doesn't have formal evaporation services, but people disappear anyway. Who disappears in the West? People escaping debt, medical bills in America, student loans, abusive relationships, domestic violence, stalking, public humiliation, cancel culture, internet harassment, failed careers, bankruptcies, reputational destruction, mental health crisis, burnout, existential collapse. How they do it. Move to different state or country, delete social media, change phone number, abandon email, work cash jobs, under the table, no tax trail, live in cheap housing, sometimes vehicles, sometimes off-grid compounds, cut contact with everyone from previous life. Where they go. Rural areas, small towns, national forests, countries with weak record-keeping, Southeast Asia, Latin America, Eastern Europe, intentional communities, communes, off-grid homesteads, some become long-term travelers, digital nomads, never staying anywhere officially. The difference from Asia. Western disappearance is less about shame, more about freedom, escape, starting over. American culture celebrates reinvention. Leave your past behind. You can be anyone. But the mechanics are the same. Abandon your identity. Live in shadows. Hope not to be found. The universal pattern, Korea, Japan, America, Europe, the same phenomenon everywhere. People choosing non-existence over participation in modern society. What does this say? About modern life. About the pressure we're under. About the system we've created. Thousands of people prefer to evaporate than to keep living as themselves. How disappearance actually works. Witness protection. The only way it really works. Let's start with the only method that actually succeeds. Government Witness Protection. WITSEC, USA United States Marshal Service. Witness Security Program, WITSEC, for witnesses testifying against dangerous criminals, mafia, cartels, organized crime, terrorists. How it works. Complete identity change, new name, new social security number, new birth certificate, new driver's license. Government creates entire new identity from scratch. Relocation, new city, new state, sometimes new country. New job arranged, housing provided initially, financial support. Sometimes plastic surgery to alter appearance. The rules. Cannot contact anyone from previous life, family, friends, former spouse, no one. If you break this rule, you're out of the program, on your own. Cannot return to previous location, cannot use old name, even in private. Your previous identity is legally dead. The success rate. Since 1970, approximately 19,000 protected witnesses and family members. Not one has been killed while following program rules. 100% success rate. Why? Government resources. New SSN is real, not fake. Employment records created. Credit history established. This is true disappearance. But only government can do it. The cost. You lose everyone you love. Your mother, your siblings, your children from previous relationship, holidays alone, no contact ever. You live under constant guard. Marshals monitoring. You can never be yourself again. The identity you had, dead. This is what true disappearance requires. The underground services, expensive scams. Outside of witness protection, disappearance services exist. Most are frauds. What they claim: disappearance consultants, new identity specialists, off-grid relocation experts. They promise new documents, passport, driver's license, birth certificate, help establishing new credit identity, relocation to country with weak oversight, digital trail erasure, cost $10,000 to $100,000. The reality: most are scams. They take your money, give you nothing, disappear themselves. The ones that aren't complete scams, they provide fake documents, which is illegal. Using fake ID? Felony. You're now a criminal, and fake documents don't work well anymore. Why fake IDs don't work. Modern identification systems, biometric databases, fingerprints, facial recognition, iris scans. Your biometrics are on file if you've ever gotten a passport, a driver's license, been arrested, entered certain countries. Fake name doesn't matter if your face is in a database. Database says, this is John Smith using name Bob Jones. You're caught. The digital trail, email accounts, social media, bank accounts, credit cards, phone records, all tied to you. Digital trail erasure services claim they can wipe this. They can't. Once something is online, it's permanent. Even if you delete your Facebook, it's archived. Google Cache, Wayback Machine, data brokers. Your digital ghost is eternal. The passport problem. Want to leave your country and truly disappear? You need a passport. But every passport used is recorded. Border crossings tracked, where you entered, where you exited. This data is shared between countries. Intelligence agencies track this. You can live quietly in Thailand or Mexico, but your passport trail remains. You haven't disappeared. You've just relocated. What actually happens to people who try? Most people who try to disappear without government help fail. Scenario 1. Found quickly. You relocate. Change name informally. Work cash jobs. Try to stay off-grid. Within months, debt collectors find you through phone records, bank account activity, employment verification, or family finds you, private investigator, social media traces. You're back where you started. But now you've also lost money, stability, trust. Scenario 2. Successful but miserable. You stay disappeared, living in poverty, cash jobs, no bank account, no credit, no health insurance, can't see family, can't use real name, can't build real relationships, constantly afraid, one slip, one old friend recognizes you, one background check. You're exposed. This isn't freedom. This is self-imposed prison. Scenario 3. Psychological collapse. You disappear successfully, but you take yourself with you, your anxiety, your depression, your shame, new location, same problems. Because the problem wasn't your location, it was internal. Now you're alone, in hiding, with all your issues and no support. Many people who disappear end up worse than before. The truth, true disappearance in modern world requires living in extreme poverty, no official identity, no bank account, no phone, no job, no housing contract, essentially homelessness with extra steps, or government resources, witness protection level support, anything in between, temporary hiding, not disappearance. Why society makes disappearance appealing. The debt trap. Why do people in Korea and Japan evaporate? Debt, not just money owed. The system of debt collection. How debt works in East Asia. Western debt. Bankruptcy exists. Debt discharged. Fresh start legally possible. Korean and Japanese debt. Much harder to discharge. Follows you forever. Debt collectors can contact your employer, publicly shame you, harass family members, show up at your workplace, expose your debt to colleagues. This is legal. The social shame is crushing. Your reputation destroyed, your family dishonored. Suicide or evaporation seem like only options. Who benefits from this system? Debt collection industry, banks, credit card companies. They profit from fear, fear of exposure, fear of shame, fear of social death. This keeps people paying. But when people can't pay, the fear becomes unbearable. Evaporation is escape. The pressure. Why is shame so powerful in East Asia? Collectivist cultures. Your worth comes from your social role, your family's reputation, your company loyalty, your contribution to society. Individual identity matters less than group identity. Fail? You failed the group. This creates pressure. Western individualists can't fully understand. Your debt isn't just yours. It's your family's shame, your ancestors' dishonor. This is why evaporation becomes rational. The work culture. Japanese karoshi, death from overwork. Korean overwork culture, 60 to 70-hour weeks normal. The expectation. Your life belongs to your company. Work late, work weekends, sacrifice health, sacrifice family. This is loyalty. This is expected. Refuse, you're weak, unreliable, disloyal, mental health struggles, weakness, burnout, your fault for not being strong enough. The consequence. People break, but can't admit it, can't quit, can't slow down, can't ask for help. So they evaporate, leave the job, the city, the identity, because being nobody is preferable to failing as somebody. Who benefits? Corporations. Extracting maximum labor from workers, paying minimal wages relative to hours worked. The threat of shame keeps workers compliant. If you can't handle it, you're weak. So workers push until they break, then they disappear. And new workers replace them. System continues. The social media prison. Western version of inescapable identity. Social media. The permanent record. Everything you've ever posted. Every photo, every comment, every like, stored, archived, searchable. Your teenage mistakes, online forever. Your stupid opinion from 2015, screenshotted. Your embarrassing photo, saved in thousands of places. You can never escape who you were. Cancel culture. Make a mistake? Public, permanent, unforgivable. Fired from job. Friends abandon you. Family ashamed. The internet remembers forever. No redemption, no second chance. No moving past it. Your name is Googled? First result is your mistake for the rest of your life. The escape fantasy. This is why people fantasize about disappearing. Delete social media, change name, move to small town, start over, where no one knows what you did. Be someone new. But it doesn't work because Google never forgets, and someone will always find you. Who benefits? Social media platforms. Your data is their product. They profit from permanent identity. You can't delete yourself. Even if you delete your account, they keep your data. 7 years minimum, maybe forever. You're trapped. Your digital identity is permanent, and it owns you. The credit system. Western version of permanent record, financial, how it works. Credit score based on your financial history, debt, missed payments, bankruptcies, follows you forever. Bad credit? Can't rent apartment, can't get loan, can't get certain jobs, can't start business easily. Your financial mistakes are permanent identity. The trap. Made mistakes young, poor financial education, got sick and couldn't pay medical bills. Too bad. 7 to 10 years minimum before it clears, sometimes longer. You can't escape your financial past. You're defined by it. Job applications ask for credit check. Landlords reject you based on score. Your financial identity is prison. Who benefits? Credit bureaus, banks, debt collectors. Your poor credit makes you desperate. Accept predatory loans, high interest rates, exploitative terms. Because you have no choice, your bad credit is their profit, they need you trapped. The pattern, east or west. The system creates inescapable identities. Debt, work pressure, social media, credit scores. You can't escape who you've been. Society won't let you, because systems profit from your inability to start over. Disappearing seems like the only way out. The death drive and identity prison. Freud's death drive. Sigmund Freud, Thanatos, the death drive. Not just wanting to die, wanting to return to non-existence. Before you were born, before you became you, no responsibilities, no identity, no expectations, nothing. The disappearance is symbolic death. People who evaporate don't always want to die. They want to kill their identity. The person they became, the one crushed by debt, the failed businessman, the disappointing child. That person needs to die, but they can't physically die, so they symbolically die, evaporate, become nobody, start over. This is Thanatos Manifest, Camus and Absurdity, Albert Camus. There is only one really serious philosophical question, and that is suicide. Not encouraging suicide, asking, why live in an absurd world? World has no inherent meaning. Life is struggle. Death is certain. Why continue? Camus said, rebellion. Live despite absurdity. But what if rebellion isn't enough? What if the absurdity is too heavy? Disappearing is Camus's question manifest, not suicide, but erasure. Different answer to the same question. The self is prison, Buddhist philosophy. The self is illusion, source of suffering. Your identity, your ego, your attachment to being you. This creates suffering because you must maintain this self. Live up to it, defend it, protect it. Western psychology agrees partially. Your identity is constructed. Society tells you who you are. Your job, your relationships, your achievements, your failures. These define you, but they also trap you. You must be consistent with who you've been. Can't change, can't grow, can't escape, because that would be not being yourself. Identity, exhaustion, modern phenomenon. You must perform your identity constantly. Social media, LinkedIn, dating apps, professional networks, curate yourself, brand yourself, market yourself. Every post, every photo, every interaction, maintaining your image. This is exhausting. The fantasy of blank slate. What if you could just stop? Stop performing. Stop curating. Stop being you. Be nobody. Start fresh. New city, new name, no history, no expectations, no reputation to maintain, no past to defend. This is the ultimate freedom fantasy, and it's why disappearing is so appealing, not because you want to die, because you want to kill the performed self. Shame, cultures versus guilt, cultures. Anthropological distinction. Shame cultures, East Asia, many collectivist societies. Your worth comes from external judgment. What others think of you, how society sees you. Fail? You're shamed publicly. This is unbearable. Guilt cultures, Western individualist societies. Your worth comes from internal judgment, your conscience, your values. Fail? You feel guilty privately. You can work through it internally. Why disappearance is more common in shame cultures, in guilt culture. You can repent privately, change behavior, move on. Society might forget. You forgive yourself. In shame culture, society never forgets. Your shame is public, permanent. You can't move on because everyone knows. Your only escape, become nobody, evaporate. This is why Korea and Japan have formal evaporation industries. The shame is structural, built into culture. Disappearing is rational response. The modern Western shift, interesting development. Western culture becoming more shame-based. Social media creates public judgment. Cancel culture makes mistakes permanent. Shame is now public, permanent, inescapable. Like East Asian shame culture. Result? Western people increasingly want to disappear too. Delete digital life. Go off-grid. Start over. Same phenomenon. Same cause. Shame-based identity enforcement. The psychological truth. People don't want to disappear because they're cowards. They want to disappear because modern identity is prison. You're defined by your past mistakes, your credit score, your social media history, your reputation, your job title, and you can never escape these definitions. Society won't let you. Systems profit from keeping you trapped. Disappearing is the ultimate act of resistance against a society that won't let you be anyone but who you've already been. Why starting over doesn't work. You take yourself with you. The fundamental problem with disappearing, geographic change doesn't solve internal problems. The pattern. You're depressed in your home city. You think, if I just move somewhere new, I'll be happy. You move, new city, new apartment, new job. 6 months later, still depressed, because the depression was internal. Location didn't cause it. Location can't cure it. Same with evaporation. You're running from shame, debt, failure. You evaporate. New identity, new city. But you still have the same anxiety, the same self-doubt, the same patterns. You haven't escaped. You've just isolated yourself from any support. The loneliness, disappearing, means cutting all connections, family, friends, everyone who knows you. Now you're alone, in new city, with new name, no history, no relationships. Building new relationships, difficult, because you can't be honest about who you are, can't share your past, can't trust anyone with your real name. Every relationship is based on a lie. This creates profound loneliness, worse than what you were running from. The identity void. Who are you if you're not the person you were? You escaped your old identity. But now you have nothing. No history, no achievements, no connections, no story. You're a blank. This is existentially terrifying. Humans need identity, need story, need belonging. Without it, void. Many people who disappear experience this. They wanted to escape their identity. They succeeded. Now they have no identity at all, and they realize the prison was preferable to the void, the return. Many people who evaporate eventually return, after months, years, sometimes decades. Why? Because disappearing didn't solve anything. They're still themselves, still have the same problems, plus new ones: isolation, poverty, fear. They return because the pain of hiding is worse than the pain they were running from. The alternative: what if, instead of disappearing, you faced the shame, the debt, the failure, accepted it, owned it, moved through it? This is harder, but it's the only thing that actually works, because you can't run from yourself. You can only change yourself, and that requires staying, not leaving. The exception: when is disappearing justified? Domestic violence, abusive relationships, when someone is genuinely in danger, physical violence, stalking, threats. Then disappearing can be survival. Witness protection exists for this reason. But this is different. This is escaping danger, not escaping yourself. The truth. For most people who fantasize about disappearing, what you want isn't a new location. What you want is a new you. But you can't get that by running. You get that by changing. Where you are, facing what you're running from, and becoming someone different without evaporating. Every year, thousands of people disappear. Korea, Japan, America, Europe, everywhere. Not kidnapped. They choose to evaporate. They hire night-moving companies. Cut all contact. Start over or try to. Why? Because modern society creates inescapable identities. Debt that follows forever. Shame that never fades. Digital trails that never erase. Credit scores that define you. Social media that remembers every mistake. You can't escape who you've been. Systems profit from this. Debt collectors need you trapped. Companies need you loyal. Social media needs your permanent identity. Credit bureaus need your bad score. So disappearing becomes appealing. The fantasy of starting over, being nobody, having no past. But it doesn't work because you take yourself with you, your anxiety, your shame, your patterns, new city, new name, same problems, plus isolation, poverty, fear, loneliness. Witness protection works because government provides resources. Underground services are mostly scams. Individual attempts usually fail. True disappearance requires living like you're homeless. No bank, no phone, no identity, no connections. That's not freedom. That's self-imposed prison. The real question isn't, how do I disappear? The real question is, why does modern society make people want to? What have we created that drives thousands to erase themselves annually? A system where your past is permanent, your mistakes are unforgivable, your identity is prison, where debt is shame, work is suffering, social media is surveillance, where you can never be anyone but who you've already been. This is what makes people want to evaporate, not cowardice, rational response to irrational system. But the solution isn't disappearing. The solution is changing the system that makes disappearing necessary, or failing that, accepting that you can't escape yourself. Only change yourself where you are. This has been Inner Pigment. Stay curious, stay present, and maybe question why you sometimes wish you could just vanish.